How to Woo Your Lady in 9 Easy Steps by Paleowriter. Chapter 3, Step 2. It is important to realize that winning over a mare is much more than just winning over a mare. It's also winning over her friends. Stallions often fail in this task, or put off befriending a lady's BFFs until it's too late. If you want a sure victory, you'll need your fairest friends on her side. The more they like you, the more they'll encourage your mare to consider you a prospect. Additionally, if a mare observes you enjoying a social time with those closest to her, she'll see you in a positive light, rather than seeing you as a threat. If there's one thing Marilyn dislikes above all, it's a stallion driving away from her friends and family. Prove to her that you accept her and her social clique, and you will be well on your way to securing her heart.
It was late. Spike wasn't used to being up late. He usually calmed down after sundown, but tonight he couldn't sleep. He rubbed at his eyes, reading through Chapter 2 for the upteenth time. After great reluctance, Spike had decided Twilight had a little bit of a point. He already made a first impression on Rarity a long time ago. Skipping step 1 was probably for the best, but he would not skip steps 2, 3, and 4, no matter how much his sister suggested. And no, it had nothing to be nervous about step 5 and trying to put it off, nothing at all. Step 2 would be valuable, right? Sure, technically he already was friends with Rarity's friends, but who's to say he couldn't become better friends with each of them?
I hope you know what you're talking about, Smooth Fox,
Spike said, finally dragging himself to his bed. He fell asleep to the sound of Twilight's snores. A picnic? Twilight asked over her morning bowl of hay. Spike nodded enthusiastic from his kitchen stool.
And we have to invite every pony.
Twilight raised an eyebrow. Does this have anything to do with step 2? Spike sniffed, lifting his head up high.
So what if it does?
Glared down his nose at the unicorn, something only made possible by his stool, which made him taller than usual. Spike opened her mouth to reply, but must have thought better of it. She closed it just as quickly.
I know what you're going to say,
Spike said, hopping down to clear the breakfast table.
But I figure it can't hurt to spend more time with Rarity's friends, just to make sure I know them well enough.
Spike, they aren't just Rarity's friends. They're your friends, Twilight pointed out. And please tell me you're not including me as one of the ponies you need to get to know better. Spike put the dishes in the sink.
Don't be ridiculous. I know you better than Rarity does.
Twilight sighed in relief. Phew, good. Spike glanced back at his shoulder of his sister.
But I don't know Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, or Fluttershy as well as Rarity does.
Twilight groaned, putting one hoof over her eyes.
Spike! What?
Spike asked offensively, grabbing a broom to begin his morning chores.
I have to do this, Twilight. I'm never going to win Rarity over on my own, and Smooth Fox guarantees success!
Dust flew back and forth. Spike realized he was letting emotions get into his sleeping. He slowed down a notch, and the dust settled through the air, wearing slightly in the rays of the morning sunlight. Twilight shook her head. All right, do what you want. I'll see what every pony is up to this afternoon. A picnic does sound like fun. Spike perked up at that. Maybe Twilight wasn't entirely against this idea. A picnic! Pinkie Pie leapt into the middle of the picnic basket, sinking her basket back and forth. Cupcakes flew from it, and a few of them actually managed to land on the plate set out.
Yes, Pinkie, we know.
Rainbow Dash rolled her eyes, ducking as a cupcake sailed over her head and squished into a tree.
Well, thank you kindly for inviting us all out this afternoon, Twilight.
Applejack settled herself onto the blanket, setting out a plate of apple tarts. Okay, this fic does got a pet peeve of mine, but, when doing Applejack's accent, you don't always need to write it out. You don't need to put down yeah in YEH or twa and putting WAH. You don't need to do that. You just need to have the words written out normally. Applejack's accent's thick, but you don't need to demonstrate it for us. Personally, for me, it kind of pulls me out of the story. Now, say ya, YA, or y'all, and stuff like that, that's fine, but this, you don't really need to write it out. Thank you. Applejack settled herself onto the blanket, setting out a pair of apple tarts. Don't thank me, thank Spike. So I said, nudging the dragon forward. It was his idea. Spike must have been. Yeah, well... But he was interrupted. Angel, no! Fluttershy yelled. Well, she didn't yell exactly. Spoke sternly, perhaps. A white rabbit popped through the picnic, darting off with one of the apple tarts. You know better than to take, Angel. You should wait to let Mommy pick out some healthy treats for you. The pale yellow Pegasus flew after his bee rabbit, but Rainbow Dash got to him first. She put out a hoof, and Angel, who had been looking over his shoulder at the pursuing Fluttershy, ran straight into it. Spike winced as Angel stumbled backwards, shaking his head dizzily. Oh, Angel, are you okay? Fluttershy asked, her eyebrows showing up in concern. She scooped up the rabbit in her arms and flew back to the picnic blanket with him. You're welcome, Rainbow Dash told, taking just the apple tart. Spike really wished he could take notes on what each pony was doing, but he felt that would be a bit too obvious. He had to keep everything in his head to get all their personalities down. That way he would figure out how to become good friends with them. Now, if he could just talk to each pony one-on-one. Would he let me interview them if I said it was for one of Twilight's projects? No, that would be a blatant lie. Pinkie Pie might fall for it, but the others would see through it faster than Bane had admitted. Okay, maybe Pinkie wouldn't fall for it, guys. Maybe she might realize the truth and just do it because it was fun. Why would Twilight need to ask them about personality questions? She was already friends with them and all. So are you, you nitwit! Twilight spoke in Spike's mind. The dragon spun, looking over at his sister. But no, her horn wasn't glowing. There was no magic. That was just him, imagining Twilight's response. Spike shrugged his shoulders. Imaginary Twilight was right, of course. He already knew Rarity's friends. And pretty darn well, too. So how was he supposed to accomplish Step 2? How would he guarantee that those closest to Rarity would vote for him to be her guy? Speaking of Rarity, Spike blinked. Where was she? He glanced out of the picnic. Applejack and Twilight were having a conversation for some reason. It involved a lot of hoof gestures on Applejack's part. Pinkie Pie had managed to get up a tree. How do you think she managed to get a tree? Fluttershy was fighting to go over her risk of falling, while Rainbow egged Pinkie to climb on higher. Now that he wasn't under supervision, Angel was back to nibbling on the apple tarts, but there was no sign of Rarity anywhere. Why, Spike! Aren't you going to welcome me to your picnic? A voice asked from behind, and Spike turned. Rarity! He exclaimed. He swallowed hard. Today, he was determined not to let any dragon split out of his mouth. Yes, of course! Thanks for coming, that is! Spike stumbled over his words and his feet, as he shuffled over to the side to give her a clear path to the banquet. She looked down funny. Is everything all right? Rarity asked, raising one beautiful eyebrow. Yes, Spike replied. Fine, everything's fine, now that you're here. Spike slapped a hand over his mouth. Rarity just laughed slightly, patting him on the top of the head. That's my Spiky. Always so sweet. Spike wasn't sure, but he thought he saw the faintest reddening of Rarity's pale cheeks. Then again, it could have been just his own sight getting blurred by the red hearts the moment she touched him. Spike swayed happily. A Spiky Wakey, and I'm always so sweet. He had long since given up caring about her stupid nickname for him. Anything that pony said was like honey under the ears. Oh, Rarity, you made it, so I said, looking up from her conversation with Applejack. Yes, so sorry I'm late. Rarity ran over to the rest of the ponies. I had to help Sweetie Belle with a bit of homework. Sweetie Belle. The words rang around Spike's head. How is Sweetie Belle doing lately, Rarity? Fluttershy asked. Very well, thanks for asking, Rarity replied. She's with her friends now at the little clubhouse. Sweetie Belle. Is that where Apple ran off to? I suspect as much, Applejack said. Oh, you know them, Rarity smiled. Always planning a new adventure. New adventure for trouble, Applejack laughed. Sweetie Belle. Spike wanted to smack himself. He'd forgotten about Sweetie Belle. Smooth Fox said over and over again how important it was on to get a good side of those closest to your mare, and he'd forgotten about Rarity's sister. Ironically, she hadn't something to that mind, because he didn't know her all that well. Spike held out arms and started chewing his constant peg. Okay, calm down, Spike. At least you thought of her now. You can fix this. You know you can get to Sweetie Belle. Hey, Applejack, Rarity, where's the clubhouse? Spike heard the little pony trio long before he caught sight of their clubhouse. Luckily, that made it easy to track them down. Rarity! Animal Drake! Rainbow Dash! The clubhouse came into view, and Spike could just make out the figures inside, pacing and yelling. Spike took a deep breath. So what? They're fillies. They're allowed to be a little Rainbow Dash! Loud. Spike grimaced, heading into the ramp to knock on the door. Who's there? Apple Bloom held her inside. It's me, Spike! Spike answered. Stopping by for a visit. Really? Apple Bloom opened up the door. Well, that's mighty nice of you. Spike gave a friendly smile and entered the clubhouse. Hey, Spike, Scootaloo said. She had a Rainbow Dash hat on. Hey, Spike, Sleebell smiled. What brings you here? Spike looked around. Just wanted to say hello, visit. He trailed off awkwardly. The trio of ponies stared at him. This wasn't going as smoothly as he had imagined. From the walls, drawing on 3 sets of key marks were everywhere. Spike could easily recognize them as Rarities, Applejack, and Rainbow Dashes. So, where were you 3 up to before I was interrupted? Spike asked, twiddling his claws about. Just trying to decide who the base pony in town is. It's obviously there's no contest, Scootaloo snored. It's Sleebell interrupted, squeaking slightly on the first syllable. Rainbow Sonic! Rainbow Dash! But Rarity is the best dressmaker anywhere, and her magic can find more gems than Rainbow Dash and Applejack could ever find combined. Well, Applejack can buck the most apples out of any pony, and no pony can farm better than her. Farming, making triggers. Rainbow Dash can do a Sonic Rainbow, guys. How can any pony compete with that? Scoots has a point. But Applebloom's right, too. And then there's Rarity. Girls. What we need are 2 additional tiebreakers. What we need is a filly version of Pound, so that a colt version of Pound, so that way he could support Pinkie Pie, and an age-regressed Zephyr. Oh, and Nyx. Wait a second. How would that be a tiebreaker? It wouldn't. It just makes things even. Besides that, I'm on Scootaloo's side. The argument escalated, and Spike had to throw his hands over the noise. He was not used to dealing with children. Sure, technically he was a baby dragon himself, but being a baby dragon was way different than being a baby pony. Hey! Spike interrupted, sounding over the 3 King Crusaders. They shut up, all turning to the dragon blinking. What? Scootaloo asked. Spike sighed. You can't possibly sell this argument. What do you mean? Sleebell tilted his head. Don't you see? You're each arguing about things that other ponies can't do, Spike explained. Sleebell, your sister makes dresses and gems with magic, which Applejack and Rainbow Dash don't have. Spike, you know what saying Earth ponies and Pegasi don't have magic does to me. He turned to Apple Bloom. And Applejack is an Earth pony, so of course he's good at farming and working with ground and trees. He turned to Scootaloo. And how the question could Applejack or Rarity ever do a song Rainboom when there aren't Pegasus ponies? That's where you blinked down some more. So what you're saying is, Applebloom narrowed her eyes. You can't compare them using traits specific to unicorns, Earth pony, or Pegasi. Spike threw his hands out of his inspiration. So that means, Sleebell crackled her eyebrows. We need to compare them using traits that all ponies have, Scootaloo exclaimed. That's not what I meant. Spike started, but it was too late. Applejack's the strongest. He's the most creative and prettiest. Rainbow Dash is the coolest. And, hey, what do you mean Applejack's the strongest? Rainbow Dash totally is. No, Applejack's the strongest. Rainbow Dash is the fastest. Rarity is the most accurate. Flare Sight is the kindest. Twilight is the most magical. And finally, our dear Lady Pinkie Pie is just Pinkie. Conqueror of hatred entities, the fear of depressant monsters, and the only pony who could probably do a one-man band. No way! Apple Bloom shook her head, her bow bouncing slightly. Wait a minute, you think Rarity is the prettiest? She spun at Sleepbell. Applejack is way prettier. Nuh-uh. Sleepbell stamped with one hoof. Yeah, huh? Apple Bloom stepped back. She's got natural beauty. Randy's only pretty because she tries to play. What? Sleepbell screeched. Does he agree, Spat? Apple Bloom said. Spike nearly fell backwards. What? You're dragging me into this? We obviously need an outside opinion, so get next. That's easy to win over him. Spike crept backwards towards the exit. So, Sleepbell demanded. Is it ready to prettiest? Spike bit his lower lip, wondering how much farther he had to go before he reached the door. So, Apple Bloom reared up, slamming her front hose down. They're all pretty! Really? Spike said in a rust. Gang! Scoola said. Rainbow Dash would kick a storm cloud in your face if you said that to her. Okay, fine. Rainbow isn't pretty. Then she's, awesome? Spike tried. That's fair, Scoola said back satisfied. So you think Applejack is pretty, you're saying? Apple Bloom asked. I didn't say that, Applejack said. Spike said, squinting back at Sleepbell. The whole point of coming to visit was to get on Sleepbell's good side at all. He said they're both pretty, Sleepbell said. So there. She stuck her tongue out at Apple Bloom. Apple Bloom sat down, mulling that over. Spike didn't think he could take any more. Well, I really gotta be going now, he said quickly. You think you have a good afternoon? And he darted out the door before any of them could ask anything else. Guess what? Sleepbell squeaked, popping out of the boutique. Rarity turned at the door sound slamming. Sweetie Pet! Rarity walked over to the workshop to find her sister dashing over to her. What are you doing here? I said I could come here over for dinner. Isn't that great? Sleepbell smiled up at her sister. I suppose, Rarity grimaced. She's going to have to talk to her parents again about warning her they were sending the little walking disaster over. But Sleepbell's excited expression melted Rarity's heart a bit. She sighed. It's fine, Minnie, but you let me do the cooking, right? Sleepbell said, trailing after Rarity into the kitchen. Rarity couldn't help but smile a little. How's your afternoon? Rarity asked. Good, Sleepbell replied, hopping into the kitchen chair. Spike came to visit us at the clubhouse. Oh, yes, Rarity said. Yeah, I've been asking where to find you three. Rarity was still puzzled over why Spike suddenly wanted to talk to the three little fillies. Well, he found us, Sleepbell said. He's a really nice dragon, and helped us start arguing. Oh, did he? Rarity asked, bemused. Well, Spike always had a sensible head on his shoulders. You bet he does, Sleepbell grinned. He said you were pretty after all. Rarity's eyes flew wide. Did he now? She coughed a bit, turning her head to avoid looking directly at her sister. Yeah, Sleepbell answered. But he also said Applejack was just as pretty as you, so maybe he's all that super sensible or whatever you said. Applejack, just us. Something cold slid into Rarity's stomach, slicing through her like a chunk of sword-like ice. Ready now, she said slowly, sickly. He said that. Yeah, Sleepbell sighed. But don't worry, I still think you're the prettiest. Rarity forced out a little laugh. Like Sticky Pad, you always know how to make you feel better. But she didn't feel better. All Rarity felt was worse and worse. It was a dual blow. Spike didn't think she was the prettiest. Blow number 1. Realizing how much that bothered her, that was blow number 2. Come now, Rarity. This really shouldn't matter. Spike can think of whatever he wants. Doesn't think it's offensive at all, right? She felt her eye twist. But Applejack! Rarity near her eyes. She would not let it disappear her. No, Rarity, honey, don't worry. Spike's right. You're not the prettiest. What you are is the sexiest. Applejack is the hottest. Rainbow Dash is the most awesome. Fluttershy is totes adorbs. Pinkie Pie is the cutest. And Twilight has that flag! What? Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Rarity. So, what's for dinner? Sleepbell asked. Rarity shook herself out of her thoughts, grateful for the distraction. Understood yet. Let's see what we have in the cupboard, shall we? Chapter 4, Step 3. Stallions, listen up. No matter what you hear from others, the friend zone is your friend. Becoming friends with your mare is probably the most important thing you could do on your road to winning her heart. This cannot be stressed enough. It is a complete myth that you can become too good of friends and be excluded from her romantic interests forever. In fact, over 90% of pony marriages
The mayor reports already being good friends as one of the reasons he agreed to the gentlecolt's proposal. That being said, there are some ground rules to follow in befriending your mare. You'll want to start friendship slowly. Hanging around her all the time will make her suspicious of your intentions, and maybe even scare her off. Read on for recommended time intervals to spend in your mare's company, while you work on completing step 3. Things of course will change in later steps, so be prepared.
Wake up, Spike! It's sleeping day! Spike felt Twilight nudge his side, and buried his head deeper under the blankets.
Twilight, every day is sleeping day,
Spike said. He knew his voice was muffled, but he didn't care.
Don't you remember? That's one of my daily chores. So, if you wouldn't mind, I'd rather it be sleeping day for at least another hour here. Thanks and goodbye. Spike!
Twilight nudged him harder. Spike glared out of the corner of his eyes, though Twilight, of course, couldn't see him do it. I'm not talking about sleeping in the library. I'm talking about sleeping day. Remember? We volunteered to sleep the streets of Ponyville?
Oh, right, that. Oh, right, that.
Spike spoke his thoughts aloud. Then he bolted up straight, blankets flying off of him.
Wait! No! Today can't be sleeping day! Oh no. No.
What's wrong, Spike? Twilight asked, tilting her head in her concern from her seat by his bedside. Judging by all the candles he had lit, it wasn't yet dawn.
Today, I need to...
Spike's face flushed. He'd been hoping to start step 3 today. Sure, he wasn't quite done with step 2, but after reading on chapter step 3, he had a panic attack, in that he already screwed up things in it, and wanted to fix them ASAP. For one thing, he'd been completely messing up how he was spending his time with Rarity. He had to combine steps 2 and 3 to get to know her friends and Sleepbell at the same time he fixed his friendship with Rarity herself. His future with his gorgeous unicorn depended on it! But now, he had to waste an entire day sleeping Ponyville? Could the role be any more cruel? Twilight sighed. I'm sure whatever steps of that silly book you're on can wait.
No, it can't!
Spike exclaimed, not even bothered to ask how Twilight knew what he had been thinking.
I might have already screwed up, Twilight!
Spike leapt up and grabbed Twilight by her shoulders,
sinking her. I need to start step 3 right away!
Twilight backed up. Spike fell to the floor. Well there! Calm down! It won't happen at all if I reminded you that we all signed up. Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, and yes, Rarity! Spike blinked up from Twilight from the floor.
Oh, right. I guess I could make step 3 work then. He thought some more. Yeah, maybe things will be okay after all.
Good, because you're coming to sleeping day regardless. Twilight pulled Spike to his feet. The mayor is counting on us, and I don't want to let her down. Spike yawned and stretched. Okay, maybe today wouldn't be a total waste.
Good think positive, Spike. Just like Smoothfox says. Remember, you're worth her. You're worth her!
Spike handed the mantra in his head and went to prepare an early breakfast for himself and Twilight. Sleepy day. Rarity frowned in the mirror. Opalescence. What does one wear to sleeping day? Meow. The fluffy white cat meowed a very bored response. You're right, Rarity nodded firmly. Definitely something I don't mind getting dirty. Rarity turned and began flipping through one of her closets. No, oh, most certainly not. Aha! She paused at a vest and hat combo. Above Argle's clothing had black pinstripes, and were otherwise dark brown in color, with just a hint of maroon. Though, not that much would class will remain, of course. The vest was sturdy, yet sleek. The hat on a small brim on the front. Rarity behind the tip slightly askew behind her horn. It was a perfect sleeping day outfit. Rarity smiled to herself. Every day had its perfect outfit, if you just knew how to look for it. She slipped on the vest and hat top of her head, tipping it just as planned. Rarity glanced back at the mirror. Oh, Rarity, you've done it again! Fabulous! She let out a girl's giggle. She inhaled deeply, breathing in the confidence wearing a perfect outfit gave her. She wasn't above admitting that clothes couldn't act as a suit of armor when the occasion called for it. She looked good today. The fist and hat accentuated that. Taking one last look in the mirror, she banished Sleepbell's words from her mind. What did dragons know about beauty, anyway? Well, Bowser does know how to find the cutest princess in all of Nintendo. Now, I say cutest because, you see, Peach is totally adorable.
Zelda, on the other hand, is drop-dead gorgeous.
Spike spun his bruises a hand, waiting for the others to arrive at town square. He and Spike were the first on the scene, of course. As they waited, Spike used their magic to hold 6 brooms of brain in formation. You're thinking it, aren't you?
Yep. I'm just waiting for them to get started.
Twilight, I think it'll be okay if you just set the brooms down for now, Spike suggested. Nope, Twilight replied, standing firm. This'll save us precious time. Imagine if every pony had to waste seconds bending over to pick up their brooms when they arrived. I want the sparkle! Spike sighed and continued to twirl his own broom around. Sleepy Day brooms had handles similar to hefty shovels. At the end of each handle was looped with a flat edge, so Earth ponies and Pegasi could use their mouths to push the broom along quickly. That way, they didn't have to strain themselves by trying to manipulate the broom with their front legs. Spike smacked his mouth open and closed a few times, imagining what it would be like to push a broom clenched in his teeth. He shuddered. In that moment, he was grateful for his hands. Applejack, you're here! Twilight smiled as the orange pony tried towards them. Always so reliable. As he pushed one broom forward with Massic. Morning, Twilight! Applejack caught the broom in one hoof and leaned up against their shoulder for the time being. And Morris back! Spike was about to respond when a squeal got his attention. He turned and was not surprised at all to see the squeal had come from Pinkie Pie. Ah, Sleepy Day is here, Sleepy Day is here, Sleepy Day is the sleepiest day of the year. The pink pony bounced along, singing to herself. As she lighted, a cloud of dust kicked up. Maybe Sleepy Day is an important thing to have every now and again around here, Spike thought to himself. Behind Pinkie's dark claws, a familiar cough sounded. Really, Pinkie. Also, if we were going to be fitting enough by the end of the day, Rarity intoned, walking out to join them. Pinkie Pie giggled. Just getting everybody in the mood, she said brightly. Spike couldn't stop but stare at Rarity. She looked amazing as usual, and the way she was wearing that hat. He shook his head quickly. Spike, come on now. Remember, step 3. Step 3! Hello, Rarity. Hello, Pinkie Pie. Spike nodded, and to each of them in turn, pulling themselves together. And how are you two today? Spike winced a bit. That had come out awfully formal, but he had to be careful not to show preference for Rarity. Today, she was equal to all others. Just one more pony that he needed to become friends with. I'm Curly! Pinkie Pie answered, jumping over and snatching one of the brooms Twilight held out. Here's your broom, Rarity, Twilight said, sending a broom to the other unicorn. Rarity took it gently with her own magic. Thank you, Twilight, she nodded. And I'm doing very well, thank you for asking, Rarity said to Spike, returning his formal tone. Then she tried over to Applejack, holding her nose up higher than usual. Spike frowned. Something about Rarity seemed different. He watched her for another moment, and noticed he kept glancing sideways at Applejack in a strained manner, and then back in Spike's direction. He flushed, quickly concentrating his own gaze on the ground. Now we just need Fluttershy Dizzy, Vicky said, bouncing broom on the tip of her nose, Brussels standing straight in the air. Yeah. Twilight's voice trailed off slightly. She narrowed her eyes at Rarity. Rarity looked at Twilight abruptly, turning away from Applejack and blinking innocently. If this is going to end up like Simple Ways, I'm so for it. Spike wasn't usually good at picking up on the subtle, nonverbal communications, but even he could tell something was going on. He just wished he knew what. Incoming! Rainbow Dash yelled, exploding onto the scene from the sky above, sending every pony flying backwards. Brooms clattered over the ground. Oh my, Fluttershy said, trotting over quickly. Is every pony okay? Totally fine here! Rainbow Dash sat up from the middle of the pony pile. Meant to do that. My heart! Rarity frowned, picking up her fallen cap and using the magic to dust it off. Oof! Twilight staggered back to her feet. Well, we're all here now. No time to waste. They all climbed back upright, and Twilight picked up a broom over to each of them. As soon as every pony had one, Twilight ran through today's plan. We start here at Town Square, and end here too. Every pony will sweep in teams of 2, and one pony will be the runner, taking it around the reliable dustbin and collect the sleepies. Pinkie, you're team with Rainbow Dash for today. Fluttershy, you're with Applejack. Rarity, you'll be with Spike. No! Spike shouted. I can't be with Rarity, not for a whole day. Smooth Fox gave specific amounts of time to spend together in Step 3, and the entire day was definitely not on the time list. Spike froze, realizing every pony was staring at him. I mean... He glanced at Rarity, and his heart exploded. The look on her face. Not that I don't want to work with Rarity, I want to be better for the rolling dustbin thing, he ended lamely, gazing back at Twilight. Twilight gave him an odd look. I suppose I was going to do that job, but we could trade if that's what you really want. It is! I'll be the best rolling dustbin dragon ever, I swear! Spike saluted his sister, and got over to where Twilight had stuck the dustbin earlier that day. Okay, now, To help out, keep our beat and keep us happy, I brought in Vinyl. Vinyl, give me the beat. Sleep, 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 sleep. Old meme is old. Oh, come on, Trix. We haven't done that joke in over a year. It can't be that old. It's old. It's over a year in computer talk in the internet times. That sucker is old. Shut up, Trix. Being the Dustbin Dragon was not very exciting. Not that excitement had been Spike's motivator for choosing the job. He was hoping that this time would be more equally amongst Rarity's friends this way. In a way, he was achieving that at least. He got into goof around with Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash, discussed the best ways to keep squirrels from stealing apples with Applejack and Fluttershy, and now was on his way to collect the dust piles from the streets with Rarity and Twilight were clearing. As he approached them, ears picked up their voices, and he froze as soon as he heard the topic of conversation. So, want to talk about why you were scrutinizing Applejack so closely this morning? Spike heard Twilight ask. Scrutinizing? Rarity asked in return. Whatever do you mean? You know what I mean, Twilight answered. You were looking at her like you looked at the store displays at Candlelight. I know that look. That's my look. That's a studying look. Is it? Rarity laughed nervously. Spike's heart hammered in his chest. He flattened himself against the wall around the corners from the ponies. Does this have anything to do with Spike's visit to your clubhouse yesterday? No, Twilight! Spike could feel his face full pack in a panic. Don't bring that up! I mean, I know I didn't make you promise not to tell her anything, but I didn't think I had to! Why couldn't Twilight actually read his mind? Spike told me how the fittings were making you choose who the prettiest man Ponyville was. Twilight! No! Spike wasn't sure how much more of this he could take. He said they basically forced him into saying it was a tie between you and Applejack, so your sisters wouldn't get upset with him. Spike gripped the side of the wall, thinking his calls in. Great, Twilight! Now she's going to think I always said she's pretty because sleep outmade me! Spike's claws dug into the hall, even deeper. I see, Rarity said, hearing her voice finally make Spike snap. Hey, guys! Spike frantically screamed, stepping around the corner. The two unicorns blinked down. Startled. Hi, Spike, Twilight said. She didn't even have a good grace to look ashamed, Spike noticed. He glared at her for a brief moment, then coughed. So, yeah, hi, I'm here now. Where's the dustbin? He yanked the bin around the corner around him. Sorry to interrupt whatever fascinating conversation I'm sure you two were having. To his surprise, it was Rarity, not Twilight, whose face went red. No problem, Twilight said pleasantly. You'll find we swept our piles into one big one just at the end of the block down there. This one pile? Spike asked. Yours are all made smaller piles in various locations. Yep, this one, Twilight responded. Well, if you're getting tired of doing this dustbin stuff, you're welcome to trade back with me and work with Rarity here. Twilight was giving him an in. Was it her way of apologizing? Spike wasn't sure. But he was sure he didn't want to leave Twilight alone with Rarity for another minute. Who knows what some of the secrets he'd be spilling next? Actually, you know what? Spike said, trading with you sounds good. Here you go, Twilight! He handed out the dustbin and took Twilight's broom. Twilight gave him a wink, and Spike was sure Rarity saw her do it. The dragon groaned. He really needed to give Twilight a talking to later about what was appropriate behavior around a certain white unicorn. But then Twilight left, and Spike was alone with Rarity. Alone. With Rarity. Together. Spike scrambled for his pocket watch. Smooth Spike said to start slow. 2 hours maximum alone time together. The clock was ticking! Rarity considered what Twilight had been in the middle of explaining. So, Spike had been forced into saying that both she and Rarity were pretty? Interesting. So glanced over the dragon. It was busily juggling a large gold pocket. Watch that he had gotten from who knows where. Of course, what Twilight said could have different implications. Some made more sense than others. Spike may still think you're the prettiest. Maybe he was just being polite for Uppermoon's sake yesterday. So, then why didn't he want to work with me this morning? And why is he okay with it now? Rarity shook her head. Rarity, I thought you decided it didn't matter. Her front legs stayed slightly where she stood, a decision overtaking her. But then Spike looked at her, and resolve fell. She had to know. Of course, he couldn't just ask. So, looks like you two were basically done with the street? Spike said, glancing around. Where do we head next? Market Row, Rarity answered. Time to test things out. She smiled at Spike and fluttered her eyelashes. Leaning in. And I have to say, Spike, I'm glad you're here. It's always nice working with you. Spike's old body melted in front of her, and Ray tried forward, feeling a little more than pleased with her himself. He still liked her. Spike was never good at hiding such things, so he allowed herself the teeniest of smug smiles. As Spike trailed after her towards Market Flow. Then she stumbled. Then, wait, what was all this money about? When he didn't want to be with me? Was he hoping to be paired with somebody else? No, that didn't add up. He voted to act alone, as a dustbin marker. It wasn't like he didn't like her. He's perfectly content to be with her now, Rarity observed, glancing over his shoulder. Spike skimmed along behind her, humming to himself. It didn't make sense. Something was going on. Rarity monitored Spike as they swept Market Row together. He was acting close to normal, though perhaps more formal than usual, and she noticed he always kept a godly distance away from her. Sometimes she cast a look at his pocket watch, which she found odd, even heard him mumble, 45 minutes, okay. They moved on to Don Street, then Park Lane, East Forest. Over time, Rarity put the confusing questions behind her. She was enjoying the afternoon. Spike was easy to talk to, and quick to compliment her. What she had to admit was boasting her self-esteem. Then, completely out of the blue, Rarity, I have to go! Spike announced a couple of hours into their afternoon. Rarity's eyebrows furrowed. Go? But we're not done sleeping yet. You're just leaving me here? Made it sound like some silly whimpering filly, Rarity. She mentally tightened herself as soon as the words were out of her mouth. Spike worked back down and forth on his feet, bit his lower lip. No, I'm trading with some pony again. Yeah, because, trading with some pony. It was a terrible lie, but Rarity naturally had the good graces not to say anything about it. Italy, though, the confusing questions returned, and new ones started piling on. Why, Spike? Why are you leaving? What's going on? A horrible thought struck her. Had he been watching that pocket all this time, counting down the minutes when he could get away from her? She raised her front leg to her mouth and bit down on it, stubbornly refusing to leak out emotion. So, yeah, Spike began backing away slowly. I'll send somebody over to take my place soon, okay? Rarity nodded. He easily couldn't trust herself to speak. Spike ran off before he could change his mind. He had to find a pony to trade places with him. Phew! That was close. Almost missed my 2-hour mark. Rarity was easy to get distracted by, but he kept his cool. He did it. Smooth Fox would be proud. 2 hours maximum, no more. Though, Rarity seemed a little upset. That's okay, Spike. Remember, Smooth Fox said that was the whole glow. If you spend a short amount of time together, you'll leave her wanting more. But still, Spike slowed to a walk, his shoulders drooping. He had kind of run out on her, without a very good explanation. He really felt like he should do something to make up for it. Spike snapped his fingers. Oh, I know! I'll get Fluttershy! He said out loud. She's great friends with Rarity. I'm sure he'll love to spend the rest of the afternoon with her. He did stop to find where Fluttershy was working. Nice thinking, Spike. At least this way, Rarity will hang out with one of her best friends. Sleeping day came to an end. Rarity was exhausted, but daring to show in front of others, especially not Applejack. She already thought Rarity was soft. The afternoon turned out surprisingly well after Spike had left. Fluttershy joined her, and she was, as always, great company. They had a lovely time. Now they finished sleeping. They walked back towards the town square together. Applejack wasn't at the square yet, so when they reached the center of town, Rarity allowed herself to stop walking and let out a big exhale. What's a day? I'm a little tired myself. Fluttershy admitted, stopping with Rarity. Tired? I'm not tired, Fluttershy looked at her. Okay, fine, Rarity said. But don't tell anybody. I'm certain even to keep up, you understand? Oh, of course. Fluttershy nodded seriously. But then both of them broke out into laughter. After the giggles died down, Rarity knocked down the square. Twilight was right frame of desk, and Pinkie Pie clustered near the middle of the road. Spike wasn't anywhere to be seen. Twilight looked up, catching sight of them. Hi! How did your days go? She called, heading over. Very nice, thanks. Fluttershy says. Twilight reached her side. Rarity nodded. Yes, everything was. Then Rarity's eyes narrowed. Behind Twilight, Spike walked to the square with Applejack. That's who you run off to on that afternoon. That's who you left her to see. Rarity bit her lip, trembled so slightly. She blinked it on being tired. Oh, this is going to turn into Civil Ways, isn't it? Not that I wouldn't mind seeing the appearance of Apple Jewel in this fic. That would be nice. But No. Must not focus on that. Must focus on other things. Must not focus on apple jewels. Sweet, beautiful, like. Oh, brother. We'll be back tomorrow, folks. Honest.